Yeah, it's Nintendo.
Nintendo.
It's a Nintendo Wii. W-I-I.
No.
Right?
That is, yeah, is it W-I-I or W-W-I-I?
W-I-I.
Okay, W-I-I.
Yeah. And it's by Nintendo, the ones who made...
Super Nintendo.
Yeah. So, and I like Nintendo games. Mario Brothers was my favorite game when I was a kid.
We had the first Nintendo, remember
Yes.
that?
Oh, yeah. Everybody else I didn't have one.
I got them the first Nintendo. I always had the kids. I always wanted them to be technologically advanced.
And we always had it.
I always foresaw that that's where their future would be.
Wow.
And so I got them the first Atari that came out.
Yep.
And got them the printer even.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that thing took forever
I
to
used
print.
to tell them, you go cook dinner while you do it. It would take 15, 20 minutes
To print out a page.
It was crazy.
To print out one page?
And it would lock up the computer. I mean, there was nothing it takes so much system resources.
Was it the Commodore?
Yeah. Was it the Commodore?
No, it was pre-Commodore.
Whoa.
Which one was it? I need to know this so I can drop
it. It was an Atari.
It was the Atari?
And it was the kind that had the games that were squares that you plugged in the top.
Wow.
It was pre-Commodore.
Yeah.
My dad had a Commodore 60. He still has it.
No way.
In the box.
Oh, man. That's a priceless item, probably.
I want that for Christmas.
I don't know if he'd give it up.
I know, that's awesome. Well, he learned how to do computers and everything at an older age, too. He's always continued his education.
He built his own computer. He went to a class and learned
how to do it. This is like 20 years ago. 10 years ago. That's what I liked about him. You know, he just continued his education throughout his whole life.
He taught him. Never went to college.
Just military.
And he taught himself enough to become an officer in the military.
That's pretty
He's
impressive.
a self-made man. Wow.
And became a fighter pilot.
That's an incredible person, yeah.
He's always been a self-taught man. And he's extremely intelligent. He's where I got my vocabulary and where they got theirs.
That's one of the reasons I think I've never, I wanted to return to school, but going to school was never a deal when I know I can pick up a book or go online and study and learn it all myself. Yeah. All my computer things I've learned all on my own.
Well, I think it's because we had such an example.
Yeah.
He never talked down to us. He was like, and so I never talked down to them. It was, we used an upper level vocabulary, and it was like, you don't know it. Well, we'd explain it partially, and if you want to know more, go look it up.
Yeah.
That's how I know Lena. I talk to her on a higher level all the time. He's even said that, you know, the way I talk to her is not like a child. Because it's something that will sink in. It will be in her subconscious for the rest of her life, and it will click. Maybe not now, maybe, but it will at a later time in a situation where she would need that, like a little voice. That's what a mother does. They have the little voice in the back of their mind who says, hello, you remember this? The advice you had? You know, that's the point. Even if it was the big words that she may not understand at that point in time.
Yeah.
Get that trickle down through her again.
And I'm that way even with Brutus. I'll just talk to him as if he's human. And, you know, like a little while ago I went, well, we can't go outside till you find your collar. And he went in the bedroom and grabbed his collar. So, you know, they're like little kids.
Yeah.
Well, he is like a little kid.
He really is. He's like about about a 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
He's not barking so much, though.
He's quiet here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the water relaxes him.
I think so. Plus, there's a lot less noise here. A lot less noise here.
There really is. There's not a lot of...
And I expect it to get real quiet now the weekend's over.
Especially up there, they're probably going to leave.
Hope so.
Yeah. It's because it's tiled. That's why you hear everything.
Well, they have to with all this sand.
I know. I'll never. See, that's the one thing I live in an apartment. I don't like living on the first floor just because of that. I'd rather have it below than above. I'll start getting frustrated, getting a broomstick.
Oh, see, I'd rather live on the second floor just so I can leave the door open.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get...
That is kind of cool. We do that a lot.
But I don't like living too high up because I don't want to climb all those stairs.
Good for your heart, though.
But I like just leaving the door open.
Yeah.
And you can't do that on the first floor. And then this way we've got like right now, see, I don't know if this will show on the camera or not. We've got the balcony where I can just look right out on the beach.
Yeah.
I can look out on the ocean. And Brutus can go out there and run around on the front porch, and I don't have to worry about him going out there on the front porch because we've got our own porch out there.
Like he wants to sleep.
Oh, he sleeps a lot. When he was a puppy, he was everywhere, but now he sleeps.
I like you can't figure out how to the placement.
Yeah. Like you know his head's going to slide down and wake him up.
Go to sleep.
He's just like, what do you want? Let me alone.
Go to sleep.
He says, I was trying.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
But he just went.
He says he's the scientist dog. Lady should do that too.
Yeah, very dramatic.
She's dramatic.
Oh, she was so sad. Oh, God, it broke my heart. And I said, I promise, when we get back, you and I will take a road trip, just you and I. And then I had to turn around. I was an hour out. I had to turn around and go back. I forgot DJ's ashes. I called Dad and I said, I'm coming back. And he goes, why? What's wrong? And I went, I forgot DJ's ashes. And he went, come on back. And I got out of the car and lady comes running up and I went, oh, baby. I'm so sorry, honey. I know I promised.
He knows that voice.
And I went, but I'll take a double long ride. Just her and I.
Yes, I'm getting ready, buddy. Come on. I made you breakfast and everything.
I didn't know there was going to be a reason behind
I woke you up with kisses.
Do you think you got up to this early? So I can't enjoy you because my girlfriend wants me to get ready and get going so we can go into mall pack place.
We're not going to a mall.
She can get boots.
I can use shoes. And while we're there, I'll be looking at boots.
See, he doesn't even get to go out to the beach, Dani.
Oh.
And he wanted to go to the beach.
We would stay if he didn't have a show.
By the way, I'm playing tonight. I'm supposed to treat like a rock star.
You are a rock star. You're a freaking rock star. Hey, I know a lot of rock stars that have crappy girlfriends.
That's right. You could have a crappy girlfriend.
Exactly. And you don't. You have an awesome kick-butt family.
You'll have a gorgeous girlfriend.
Woohoo!
That has been through trauma after trauma.
Gave me character.
I think so.
Lots of character.
I think so. I think stuff we go through is not...
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
It's what we do with it.
Exactly. Edwin and his father used to always brag and tell people, you know, it's a surprise Danica is not a hooker or doing drugs.
Are you kidding me?
And that was a compliment. And I was just like, how is that a compliment? Well, he goes, because your life has been so effed up.
Are you kidding me?
You're right. I wonder why I can barely look at him. He's just the same, too. I'm trying to break down that barrier, but it takes a lot of strength.
I just don't think he understands
He's an idiot.
what appropriate interaction is.
And that comes from his father. It's always just, everything's a conspiracy. Everybody respects the man, you know, and he doesn't know how to talk. I mean, it's lack of education.
That's what I think it is lack of education.
It's not just that, though. He's pompous. I mean, he's cocky and insecure.
That's lack of education. The less people have an education, the more pompous they are.
Yes, but even with an education, that wouldn't change. There's a part of them that's like that. I've met many educated people that were just as pompous as him.
Actually, the more educated they become, the more secure people are in themselves.
I disagree.
And, well, then there's something else causing the insecurity.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a combination of a lack of education and serious emotional,
okay.
like deficient.
Then he's got something seriously.
He's depressed. He's, chronically depressed about something. He worries a lot. It's like he took the stuff from his father and the stuff from his mother, and his mother continuously is in a state of worry and panic.
Oh, is she?
At all times. And so he's got that part. And then with just
Do you think the mother is because of the father? Or do you think she had that before?
It was her mother.
Oh.
And then molestation from her brother.
Oh.
The whole family knows about it and didn't do anything about it.
Oh my gosh.
And didn't do anything about it. So that's a lot of it.
Was that before she married the father?
Yes, but she married the father at the age of like 16 or 17. So she transitioned immediately, and then he went to war.
He went to war.
Vietnam or World War II, one of them. When he was like
Vietnam.
17, I think. So he got his parents. He was, you don't know the story, but Brian's father is a twin. And the twin went to like South Africa and disappeared. Never came back.
Never came back?
Never
so
came
they
back.
don't know
if he's alive. They don't know anything about him. But he was like that. He hated the family, and so he'd just check in sometimes. Well, Tom, the other twin, which is Brian's father, went to the military, to Vietnam or whatever, and that's where he got sprayed with Ancient Orange. Hence, he had a child with a messed up leg.
Brian.
Yes, and which is the one thing I always, I try to do for Brian. It's like, you need to get with your father, and you can be, reciprocated. You need all these funds for this.
The governmental, yeah.
Yes, if your father will do that. His father wouldn't do that.
Why?
It's a blow to the ego. There's nothing wrong with my son. There's nothing wrong with my sperm. There's nothing, nothing like that. It was genetically all. You were sprayed with chemicals that messed this up. And there are so many cases documented.
Well,
right side leg, everything. It's so many cases documented.
Well, my uncle, Jane's dad, Kip, was born with the same thing. He spent his whole life with the same leg, and he never once complained about it, never once made a big deal of it, never once had an issue, never once complained. He was a self-made man. He was an engineer, and
it depends on how you deal with something.
He invented the computers that ran all of H.E.B. Zachary Company. Hush, no barking in the house.
So, but yeah, that's just.
Hush, no barking in the house.
That side of the family, they can be sweethearts. I'm not saying Brian's not a sweetheart. His mother's a sweetheart. but it's the other things, the continuous worry, the stress they put on themselves, the stress they put on each other at all times.
So it was like a toxic chemical brew. His whole family was a toxic waste dump.
So it's just a lot of issues.
Ah, and then you walked in at one of the worst points in your life and got dropped into that toxic waste dump?
No, I dated Brian at the age of 19.
Which was one of the worst times of your life.
That was pretty tough. And then I didn't treat him right, and I openly admitted I cheated on him. I was 19. But it's something that's been hung over my head and punished to me, and this is how, I can't tell you how many times I cried and begged. And
you were a teenager.
Exactly. So, yeah. But they hold grudges. The whole family, they're grudge holders. They don't forgive, they don't forget.
You were a teenager.
I know, but that's the way it is. So, and that's honestly half of the anger right there of everything. I talked to him on the phone. I told him, I go, he told me, what did he say? That, you know what, Danica, if you want child support, that's fine. I'm middle class, you're middle class, we'll always be middle class, we're not going anywhere. I go, one, I said, you don't know me. I don't know you anymore. I said, we have no idea where we are in each other's lives, how we're doing career-wise, anything.
Or where we will be.
Exactly. And I said, I'm not just some middle-class girl somewhere and poor and all this stuff. And he goes, and he starts butting in already, and I go, see, this is how he is. He puts down. This is how he controls. Is he puts down, he puts down, he puts down, and so
controls you that way.
It doesn't work with me, and that infuriates him. He doesn't understand that, though. He doesn't understand that's why he's mad at me all the time, though. But that is. It's because I don't succumb to his manipulation and the way he is, because that's how he schmoozes the crowd. And, you know, I understand this now because I'm not dating him, you know, but I understand his family and everything and how it works. He's very controlling, like his father.
But you also interact with him too much.
Not anymore.
Okay. Because when he says stuff like that, you should just sit there and say, look, whatever you want to think is up to you, but
that's what I told him.
You know.
This is only one conversation happened with him in a year.
Yeah.
And, you know, because that's when we were discussing because he wants to settle.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, and I told him, you know.
Well, that does sound like a good answer to him.
Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
He just hasn't changed. I mean, he is the same.
Yeah, it sounds like you've come to a good resolution about it, that he has not changed, and
it's just Lena comes home talking about this and talking about that, and
oh, she told me at the table the other day with Steve when we had dinner. She goes, I told my friends at school, if you come over to my house, do not say anything about Obama.
She'll flip her.
And she goes, my friend said, oh, we know.
He'll flip. I tell you, one of her friends is Muslim.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they look very, you know, white.
Yeah.
But the mother married, he's like half or something. And really nice guy and everything, actually a musician, blah, blah, blah. Well, Lena told her dad that, and he goes, no way. Because he thinks they're all terrorists, you know.
God.
Yeah. And Lena knows this. She knows he's racist. She knows this, and she, you know, it frustrates her. And she had to tell her girlfriend, don't talk about that around my dad. She goes, really? She goes, yeah, he doesn't understand that kind of stuff. And she's like, kind of looks at her like, you know, what's wrong with my religion? Kind of.
Yeah, poor kid.
So, yeah. So, and there's other things, too. It's like all these little, you know.
Having to keep secrets, yeah.
And hence half my issues I'm having with her.
But you can't change it. These are Lena's issues.
My household.
Yeah. these are issues Lena has to deal with, you know.
I can't control anything that goes on
Yeah,
over
right,
the house.
right.
And that's why I tell her every time. I said, I can't control that. You know, your complaints and everything, you address them with your father.
Right.
There's nothing I can do.
That's right.
She finally was brave enough, she addressed him kicking her dog.
Good.
She told him, he got real quiet. And he goes, okay. And she started crying to me because she goes, he didn't apologize. She goes, and that told me that he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. I said, he doesn't, babe. There is nothing wrong with that inside his head. And so the reason why this came up is Lena got upset because she started kicking the dog. And now she's aware, finally, that what she sees, and what I'm trying to teach her, that even if you disagree with what someone is telling you, once they do it enough or say it enough, you will start doing it. Even if you disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way we work, repetition, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. So I'm trying to tell her she needs to walk outside of the situation and stop listening to it.
Right.
Because it subtly does creep its way in there. It causes the seeds of, you know,
learned behavior.
Exactly. So I'm trying to teach her about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is to walk away.
Good. Good.
But that was
Danny, you're doing a great job.
I hope. But she did. The good thing is she confronted him, and that took a lot for her to do. I told her, I said, did he get mad? She said, no.
Good.
Did he yell at you? No. Did he spank you? No. Good. But he didn't apologize. I said, okay, you cannot change your father, but you can tell him how you feel. That's all you can do.
Great response.
And she gets it, but she's still struggling with trying to impress him, change him, and everything. And that's the continuous thing I have to work with, or she's going to find a man just like that.
You did great. You did a great job.
But she's learning.
You did a great job.
So, it's not over yet. I told her, she's going through a lot of stuff right now, and I told her yesterday, I was, you know what, I might get frustrated. I said, but I have two things to tell you. I said, one, whatever you do, you're never going to break Steve and I up. We're cool. I said, we love each other. You know, even if you lie to him, you lie to me or whatever. I said, you're not going to pull us apart. You're not going to tear us apart. He's in our lives. I said, so first of all, that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was okay. And I said, what did I say? Second of all, I said, I'm not giving up. I said, I will lecture you and talk to you and try to get you to talk instead of suppressing all this stuff and wearing this mask that you don't care about anything right now because it's called dumbing it down and all this stuff that she's going through to be cool and not to feel stuff and just wear it.
Is that what it's called, dumbing it down?
Dumbing it down is like when you, well, dumbing it down is in school where you just stop. This is something else. She's got a couple of things going on. Dumbing it down is where a smart student will stop doing as well in school because her peers aren't as intelligent. So if she does very well, she sticks out. She's been dumbing it down.
Did you do that?
Yes. That's why I know what it is. So it really hits home. And it's something a lot of children do. So Lori is the one giving me advice on it. And when she told me that, I go, Lori, that makes so much sense. I've got to address it now. You know, because Lena is very intelligent. So she's intelligent enough to know that she's got to tone down certain behaviors to be accepted in a crowd.
Did you tell her that you did it?
No, not yet. So, but this is going to be an ongoing conversation. So that's why I told her. I said, I'm not giving up. I said, every single day. I said, I am so upset with you, but I love you. I said, but this is not going to work. You're too smart for this. You're too smart to be doing this kind of effort and these grades and just blowing stuff off like that. I said, it's no excuse. Because I told her already, like Sarah works her butt off and makes D's. She has a girlfriend who works her butt off and makes D's because she's not book smart. Lena doesn't try at all and can pull a B or a C. When she does try, she makes straight high A's when she does try. And she's trying, but, you know, well, now she's missing assignments. And see, now we have everything online. So I get it all the time. And, well, before I check, I ask her. She knows exactly what's going on in her classes.
And she knows you're going to find out.
Well, now she's starting the attitude. Everything's fine. You know, blah, 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 you know. And then I get up. So she goes and she'll go, I'm going to go take a shower. Goes jump in the shower. I get out of the bathroom. why don't you hang out in your room for a few minutes? So I go online, because she knows what I'm going to do. She had all that time to tell me. And she knows it's going to upset me and I'm going to cry, because that's what I do. I cry. It hurts my feelings. You know, I'm stomping around and everything, and Steve's upset because I'm upset. It's not that.
So she's not doing it to upset you. It has to do with school.
And, well, it's different things. I'm not the only person she's lying to, so I don't take it personally.
Okay.
And I know she is to her father, and a lot of it has to do with she doesn't like screwing up. She's a perfectionist. She doesn't like getting in trouble, because she's smart. 1 out of 10 times she gets away with it, so that's good odds. The problem that's upsetting me is that it's affecting her body language and her face now. She's lying to herself, not just to me. It's not just to her friends and family. It's that she's scared. And so she's using this, you know, to hide.
What is she scared of?
Everything. She's just with hormones and everything, and she's scared of what she's supposed to do and act like. And, you know, 6th grade is very hard. So, and I know that it's very hard on her, but she's got to keep her chin up and stay strong and be herself. And she's not being herself, and she's struggling with that.
Maybe she needs to talk to her school counselor.
That's what I'm going to set up, and she already begged. She told me, I told her I want to take her to a doctor, a counselor, or whatever. And she's like, please, Mommy, I don't. She got all upset, and I told her on Friday before she left, in the car on her way home, I said, you're going to a doctor.
She needs or maybe get her into some group counseling. Group counseling is really good because they can sit there silent as a stone.
Listen. Yeah.
But they'll hear other kids talking.
Is there classes like that?
Oh yeah, and they'll work on a sliding fee.
Yeah.
Based on your income.
That's what I would really like, because I think the one-on-one
and
thing,
you're close enough out to the university that would happen.
What would I look for?
Call University of Texas Health Science Center and say I need to get on the list or whatever for this and find out.
She has insurance. So.
Oh, okay, and find out where this is at or whatever. And yes, she has insurance, and either that or I need to call the doctor who did the case study and get recommendations from him.
That's a good idea. I wanted him to talk to her.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't because he's involved in the case. He's incredible.
Well, get recommendations from him.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll email him. He responds very well to emails.
Yeah, get recommendations from him.
So, and it's all over, so I can ask him now.
Yeah,
right?
and since he knows her so well, he'd know who to recommend.
Yeah.
And just tell him for teenage angst.
Yeah.
She's in the midst of teenage angst and wants somebody that you think it's important for her to have an outside third party that she can confide in. And that you think especially a group therapy would benefit her very well.
And something she can listen to and get comfortable with.
Right.
Because I also told her, I said, you know, you're not talking to anybody but your friends. And I said, and your friends are the same age as you, and they're all in different situations that you don't know. So I told her, I said, they don't understand. You know, they understand their frustrations are equal to yours on different levels.
But in a group therapy, they allow that to happen, but there's a monitor that keeps it,
what I like, positive or helps.
Well, keeps it in focus.
Yeah.